Oh, well, hi guys, welcome to this update on my channel. Basically, my channel has been discovered by the powers that be in the company that I primarily run for. Now, I'm an agency guy. The realities of agency, now I'm a 7-year veteran of the agency, so the realities of agency is you can work somewhere for a year, 2 years, whatever, day in, day out, always on that site. And then one day that's it, boom, done. No reasons, no whatevers, you're just in a different site. So the realities of agency is you change, you move. So when I started this YouTube channel, it was an educated risk. You know, I might stay here for a prolonged period of time. I might only be here another 6 months. I don't know. And one of the things I accepted in myself was that if and when the channel is discovered, there is a very strong possibility I will be given the "don't come back, mate." But again, being agency, it's a case of that happens anyway. There was one site I worked for once, and you've never seen me work for this site, by the way, so as you're aware. It had a zero tolerance policy to everything. And if you got caught in traffic, let's say there'd been a car accident or a breakdown, you were stuck in traffic and you ran out of time. Okay, it happens. These are infringements that you can't control. You go in back, there's been a breakdown, car accident, you're stuck, you run out of time, you pull over when safe to do so, so on and so forth. If you had that happen and you got an infringement, you were banned from the site for a week if you were agency. That is the realities of being agency. Okay, I'm pulling no punches on this one. And the reason I'm pulling no punches is because what happened when the powers that be discovered my channel. And I need to kind of make sure you guys understand just how amazing what happened is, I suppose. Now, obviously, I cannot, and I will not, go into any detail about what exactly was said between myself and the manager in the meeting room. Okay, that's between myself and that person. What happened in the meeting room stays in the meeting room. Obviously, I am in absolutely no position to reiterate any words of management or otherwise. You know, I can't speak on behalf of any company, I can only speak on behalf of me. Now, it might come as a bit of a shock to some people, but my name isn't actually Bill. It's the name I use on this channel. So when anybody says Bill or something like that, refers to me as Bill, I know exactly where you found me. I know exactly where you know me from. Now, I started my day yesterday and got me paperwork, got me keys, me coats under one arm, me bag slung over the arm, got me coffee, paperwork, keys, crap all over the place, and I'm leaving dispatch. I get to the door and the manager walks past, the door open style thing, and I'm just about to walk through it. Bill, isn't it? So instantaneously, I know this particular manager has seen YouTube, has seen me on YouTube. Now, as you guys know, I don't mention the company by name, I don't mention suppliers, I don't give away exact locations, all that kind of stuff. I keep things, you know, I respect the privacy of the company, I respect the security of the workforce and the company and so on and so forth. Which is, as you can see, I've closed the curtains just in case. There's 2 Class 2s parked either side of me, and they have company logos all up and down the side of them, and I don't want that being shown, so I close my curtains, which is probably why it's a bit dark. I don't know how dark. I can't see a screen. I don't know how this is how this is coming out. I hope it's fine. But anyway, can I have a word? So off I go. Now at that point in time, as soon as he's said Bill, I've been like, oh, it's going to be that conversation. You know, it's going to be finish out your day, don't come back. Words to that effect style thing. Just what I didn't need. My other half is changing jobs. She's going down to part-time hours while she's on probation at what is basic minimum wage. And now I've got to go and find somewhere else to drive for. I'm like, oh, I just don't need this. But at the end of the day, I took the risk. So off we go. Now, what transpired in there, I'm not going to say. But what I can say is this happened yesterday. You know what the back end of the inside of an Actros looks like, don't you? This is the following day. And, itchy nose, sorry about that, and I have a shift for tomorrow. So what transpired, remembering that I am agency, I'm not a company guy, I don't get written warning, verbal warning, anything like that. It's literally a case of I get no more shifts. Done. As I've said before, and I will say again, the company I'm rolling for today is an outstanding company to roll for, whether you are company guy or agency. I mean, they just are. The level of respect shown to me as an agency guy by a manager who's never met me before. And he's one of the big managers. He's not one of the managers behind the desk, supervisor, something like that. He's one of the big managers. Is outstanding. It's the only thing. It's the only word I can use. The level of respect shown to me is outstanding. And my respect for the company and loyalty to that company has just gone through the roof. I'll tell you that here and now. One thing I do want to put in here and now is this thing I'm sitting in, is how I earn my money. It's how I earn my living. It's what keeps a roof over my head, food in my fridge, and will most likely one day be used to raise children. This, the YouTube thing, I don't earn any money from. At the moment, and this is always subject to change, at the moment, I have not been asked to cease and desist. I have not been asked to remove what I have uploaded. Now obviously that can change. Remember, I don't earn any money through YouTube. This is a cost to me, time and money for cameras and stuff like that. Editing software and... If I have to shut YouTube down, I will up and vanish. I will just disappear. I won't even think about it. Because, like I said, the level of respect I have been shown. Remember, I've been flying under the radar doing this. Is outstanding. It's beyond contestation. I mean, you can see me. It's the following day. I'm sitting in one of their vehicles. Now, from what was said, from questions I've asked, because I wanted to be clear. I wanted to make sure that, is there any way that I can continue to make content? Because at the end of the day, I do this to try and help people who want to get into trucking get into it. So give you a kind of idea of what's involved. You know, I show you the way I do things. Not necessarily the only way to do things. I mean, if you're a general haulier, if you live on the road, then you're not going to use POA. You know, you're not going to do things the way I do it. Whereas if you're retail, become agency, whatever, then chances are you are going to virtually live in POA when you're waiting for paperwork, you know, waiting to be loaded, waiting at a gate to be let in, so on and so forth. Because we go home every day. Now, a tramper starts on a Monday morning and hopes to get home on a Friday evening. There's always a possibility that they won't come home until Saturday morning or midday. So they don't want to get held up anywhere, so they're push, let's get to the next place, and they take breaks wherever they can. Legally, of course, but wherever they can. I'm regional. I come in, do my job, go home. I only need one break a day. The rest, POA. So, all I try to do is show you guys who don't do this, or are just getting into it, the way I do things. Not necessarily the only way to do things, but the way I do things. So I wanted to see whether I could continue on. So I asked a couple of questions. And like I said, what was said in there I'm not going to reiterate. It's not my place to reiterate, and I would never do that. I have a shift tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a standard kind of template. I'm going to sort about with a few things, but create a standard template for roughly what my vlogs will look like. You know, roughly how I'm going to do them. Bit of a test. I now know I'm being watched. They know I exist, they know I'm here. If something in tomorrow's vlog is done incorrectly, or no, can't do that, I will find out very quickly. I know this. They know me now. They know where they can find me. You know, they've worked out that I was driving for them. So there you go. So tomorrow I'm going to do some experimenting to see whether I can continue to make content. Now remember, if I can't, or if I am asked to cease and desist, or if I am asked to remove certain ones or all of them, it's gone. Okay, I will disappear. I'll still be available on Twitter, and I may create another channel for my own personal life, because obviously what I do outside of work, it's up to me what I do outside of work. It's only going to reflect on me. So, for example, if I restore a car, if I go out shooting, if I restore a gun, when I may be driving to work, you know, thoughts from the road in my car, driving to work, or home from work if it's light enough, or my days off, or whatever. You know where I'm going with it. So chances are I will still continue to make some content, but it won't be this. It might be about this, but it won't be this, if I have to stop. Okay? Now, I've been thinking, the issue has been of a legal nature. Okay, the reason I'm going to have to re-engineer, redo things, you know, change things about, is of a legal nature. Now, I was thinking about how to explain this to somebody who's not from the UK. Somebody from America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, wherever you happen to be from. Because obviously I'm not going to say what was said to me. So what I'm about to go into has not been said to me by any management, by the company. This is me explaining a legal issue with doing this kind of job in the UK. It's for anybody who wants to do this as well. Okay, this is my thoughts, nothing to do with the company, nothing to do with what was said. The issue is a legal one. Now, in this country, it is illegal to use an electronic device when driving a vehicle. That's your phone, your iPad, your cameras, stuff like that. Sat-nav as well. Okay? You might not know this, but sat-nav as well. There are lots of buttons on steering wheels these days, and they control the radio and stuff like that. If you're going to be really picky, You're supposed to turn your radio on, set it all up, and then start your journey. Okay, so if you want to change a CD whilst you're driving along, it's illegal. The only thing you are allowed to do whilst you are driving, legally, is what you need to do to drive that vehicle. Indication, use of wiper blades, you know, steering, changing gears, everything you can think of to do with driving. Anything else is a distraction from driving. Now, in most states in America, it is illegal to carry an open container of alcohol whilst walking down the street, as far as I'm aware. Americans back me up on this. And a solution was to put the bottle into a brown paper bag. Now, the brown paper bag is not illegal. The open container still is. But it's in a brown paper bag, and the only way to prove that it is an alcoholic beverage is a stop, search, maybe seizure. It's a lot of paperwork, a lot of time, a lot of effort, so the police turn a blind eye. Now, Americans, I'm sure you'll back me up on this. Hands-free kits are not illegal. You can buy them, you can install them, you can use them. The issue becomes, and this is how I'm trying to explain it to, well, anybody who wants it explaining, anybody outside this country primarily, but anybody else. The issue is, you're driving along, trundle, 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 and you're talking to a mate on Bluetooth, or you're talking to a camera, as you've seen me do. Now, you guys all know I've got the Health and Safety Executive's guidelines on doing this kind of stuff, and I stick to that. But they're guidelines, and primarily they're for camera crews, you know, for TV programs. You know, so they've got permits. They're travelling in a convoy. You've got a front vehicle, a back vehicle, you know, escorts and stuff like that. And the cast, the ones who are doing all the da-da-da-da-da, are in between it. So again, you've got various risk assessments and safety assessments and stuff like that in place. Which, obviously, YouTubers, we don't have. Now, let's say you're driving along and you're doing your bit to camera. Whilst you're driving, you know, you're still looking about. You're not staring at the camera going, yeah, 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 yeah. You're looking about. You're driving, but you're just, whatever, you know, you're prattling about as you've seen me do. Or you're chatting to your mate, hands-free. It's fine. Now, at this point in time, are you paying 100% attention to driving? Well, the answer's no, isn't it? Because you're having a conversation. If you are caught not paying attention to driving, that's driving without due care and attention. Now, is that illegal? It is, isn't it? So now let's imagine you're driving along. You're on your phone with a camera. Something occurs. Somebody pulls out, somebody pulls in too early, whatever. You change lanes, you don't notice a smart car down in the corner. Crunch, accident, emergency services are called. I mean, this is a 44-ton vehicle. If I hit a smart car, chances are they're going to need to get cut out of it. So emergency services are called. Serious injury, maybe death, has been caused. It's a possibility, okay? Worst case accident, serious injury, death has been caused. Everything is seized. Your card, your phone, cameras, everything. Because an investigation has to take place. Now, they look at your phone records. At the time of the accident, your phone records show you were on the phone. It's an accident through driving without due care and attention. That's dangerous driving. That's serious injury or death caused by dangerous driving, isn't it? That's time inside. That's your licence. That's it. Done. Alright. That's how it will be shown by the prosecutor in court. Now let's say they've got your micro SD card. Okay? Let's say you're me and I'm driving along. And on that micro SD card is me going, and the issue with a 42 stone person on a pogo stick is, oh my god, cramp, boom, all that kind of stuff. Yeah? Whether I'm looking ahead at the time or in my mirrors or whatever, doesn't matter. Okay? They've got that. Comes to the court date. They reel this out as evidence. As you can clearly see, the defendant was not paying attention to what he was doing. If he hadn't have been doing his bit to camera about the 42 stone man on a pogo stick, the accident could have been easily avoided. As a result of his actions, an accident occurred, somebody died, death by dangerous driving. I'm for the high jump. Can you see where I'm going with this? Hands-free is legal. Like a brown paper bag and a bottle of booze. At the point you have an oopsie-daisy, at the point you bin it, you're now driving without due care and attention. Always remember that. Now this is something that I thought of, but I didn't think of in that context. You know, it's hands-free, of course, you know, I've got both hands on the steering wheel, I'm paying attention to everything else. The thing is, and this is a big issue. Now, every driver for a company, whether you are agency or you are a company guy, you are driving for a company. They have an operator's license which entitles them to X amount of vehicles. Now that operator's license can be restricted so that they lose vehicles, or worst case, it can be taken away, it can be removed. Now let's say you're driving for a company, okay, and you have an accident. You're doing something similar to what I do. You're doing your YouTube channel and you have an accident, you have an oopsie-daisy. Death has been caused. The most serious of accidents. You're going to find yourself in court. Your company is also going to find themselves right behind you. Questions are going to be raised. What are the procedures? What are the safety assessments? What rulings do you have on this? What guidelines do you give to your staff? What this, what that, what blah, 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 blah. If your company turns round and says, well, we never thought anyone was stupid enough to do it, or we don't have any, that could affect the operator's license. Now this is something that I have researched since yesterday. Okay, like I said, I'm not saying anything that was said in the meeting. Please understand this. This is stuff I have researched since yesterday, and I did a channel update vlog yesterday. I recorded it all, but I wasn't happy with it because I hadn't really done any major research. I hadn't really Googled anything. I hadn't really found anything out. The thing is, if something were to happen and it was proven that the driver for the company, whether it's agency or a company guy, had caused it, then there is an issue for the company's O licence, potentially. Now usually the company could turn around and say, well look, we've got training in place, they know the rules, they've signed this, they've undertaken that, we've got procedure and procedure and procedure, whatever. The only time a company will really get into issues O licence wise is if it can be proven that they were forcing the driver to break the law or forcing the driver out on the road with an illegal vehicle, that kind of thing. But there is always a potential in serious accidents where the operator's licence could be affected. The O licence could be affected. Now that has a knock-on effect to the company. Loss of earnings. It has a knock-on effect to the people they can no longer employ. loss of earnings, and so on and so forth. You can see how it would snowball. You can see how it would get out of control, complete control. Now, hold on 1 second. I'm just checking my... I'm on 26 minutes of break so far, so I know I've been going for a while. But you can see how it will get out of control. So everything that has been said to me, and every change I am going to make, bears in mind everything that's been said, answers to questions I asked, research I have since done in full on every potential outcome, and I'm going to trial it tomorrow and see what I come up with, see what I make, and hopefully I will be allowed to continue. But this is an update. This is why my channel is changing. Because whatever I do, I have to be able to be defendable in court should something go wrong. Now obviously whilst I'm sitting on my break, you know, I'm not in the driver's seat, I'm not, the vehicle shut off, everybody's happy, la da 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 da, okay? So, wonderful. I'm on my break, I'm not driving, I can have full attention to this. If I have an accident on the way home now, this has absolutely sod all to do with it, you know? So, like I said, I'm going to trial my new plan, and hopefully, like I said, I know I've been found now, I know I'm going to be being watched. So if I've done anything that's, no, you can't do that, no, we don't mind this, but you can't do that, I'm going to find out very quickly. If I get told, look, you just can't do it, I don't do it anymore. Okay? And that is all thanks to the level of respect I was shown. I mean, it would have been really easy for them to say absolutely nothing, let me finish my day out, and then that's it, never again come back, done, I don't even know why. So, part of that level of respect shown to me is also a reason, as you remember, the last one I did is part 1 of the London in Real Time. Well, obviously I did part 2 the same day. I went from the destination I was at, trundled along. That has been edited, that has been readied and everything like that. I'm not going to upload it. Because of certain things I've been asked, certain answers to questions I've had and certain things that have been said. I'm not going to upload that. So there will be no part 2. Okay, so 57 does not have a part 2 any longer. So we shall see what happens, we shall see how it goes. I hope I've explained it as in depth as I can. I haven't said anything that was said to me. I am not speaking on behalf of the company, I am speaking on behalf of me. My views, my opinion. As you guys are aware, you don't know who I'm driving for. And if anybody, because I know there's a few professional drivers who follow me, if anybody has recognised some sites and anybody knows who I'm driving for, do not put it in the comment section below, because I will remove that comment and I will remove you. Like I said, my loyalty and level of respect for this company after the respect they've shown me is through the roof. Anybody mentions the name of this company in the comment section, you are gone. But anyway, I shall trial my new methodology tomorrow. I shall see what I come up with. And that's about everything I wanted to cover. So, like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. It seems to be working, and it seems to be working quite well, because I've still got a job even though I've been found out. And I shall see you in the next one. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening this long. And you shall see the results in tomorrow's vlog. And we'll go from there. Take care guys, see you later.